current plans for the upcoming L train shutdown will leave hipster Brooklyn straphangers stranded and the Williamsburg Bridge and its surrounding areas choked by traffic for at least 15 months, transit experts told the Post. "You might as well make the Williamsburg Bridge a parking lot," said JP Patafio, a vice president with the Transport Workers Union Local 100. "You'll have 40,000 people taking 100-plus buses with 3 minutes of headway," he said. "Once they get to the Brooklyn side with no dedicated bus lane, it's going to be impossible to get anywhere, and it will all back up onto the bridge." Critics of the plan, put together by the City Transportation Department and MTA, say at least one bus-only lane is needed on the Williamsburg Bridge, ideally all the way to Grand Street in Brooklyn. Otherwise, they say, commutes will be a nightmare and Williamsburg residents will flee. If commuters have a nightmare experience the first week, they are going to leave the city buses and never come back, warned Paul Steely White, Executive Director of Transportation Alternatives. The agency's current plan is to add one high-occupancy-vehicle lane to the bridge. The move would allow any vehicles with more than 3 people to share the lane with buses. 70 miles an hour deserve their own lane, at least during rush hour, White said. Transit officials need to get ahead of this and come up with a much stronger plan than they have now. Adding to the traffic crush will be small private shuttle vans that are sure to crop up, plan critics said. "We're going to see a lot of companies try to launch miniature shuttle services, and they are going to clog the lane," said Nick Sifuentes, Executive Director of the Tri-State Transportation Campaign. "It will be another normal lane filled with vehicles. See also get ready for a commuter apocalypse. It's a good thing that New York is the city." The plan also calls for turning 14th Street in Manhattan into a dedicated bus lane 7 days a week, from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., ideally moving about 1 bus across it per minute. The subway line typically handles 230,000 passengers daily, transporting them through the decrepit Canarsie Tunnel between Brooklyn and Manhattan, which was severely damaged during Hurricane Sandy in 2012. The line's shutdown is set to start in April and last 15 months. Councilmember Steve Levin, who represents Williamsburg and Greenpoint, was on a bus with other local officials last week that took a sample route which the DOT plans to use during the construction, and the vehicle was a half-hour late. "Of all the concerns I have, keeping the Williamsburg Bridge clear is the biggest one," Levin told the Post. "Ideally, we would see a bus-only lane." Department of Transportation officials say they believe that the hot lane will be enough to create a good flow of traffic. They said they considered many aspects of the bridge's construction, including its narrow lanes, and determined that there wasn't enough room for a bus-only stretch. "If any adjustments are needed during the shutdown, we will make them accordingly," said DOT spokeswoman Lolita Avila.